Hello, everybody, and welcome back for a doubleheader episode of Three Dads and a Console. We know not every dad can stay up to date on the latest and greatest in video game news that you need to know about, so we are here to do it for you. Remember, this show is kid-friendly, even though the takes will be spicy today, so no earmuffs are needed. Now, on with the show. I'm Wobble Plays, today alongside the Pez.
Good day, gentlemen. Well, I guess one gentleman, because Cord is
Hi.
not with us this evening.
He's still a gentleman.
He is a gentleman.
He came and said hi.
He did. Cord right now. For those watching on YouTube, Cord is over at the Carpool PlayStation Drive, I think, maybe talking about this. Yep. But for our audio listeners, Cord is with us. He's just muted for the whole show.
but the audio listeners, we're gonna actively lie to you.
Yeah.
We'll just gaslight you the whole time. What's that, Cord? Oh yeah, good point.
Oh, I agree.
Just convince them they can't hear.
Yeah, someone in our reviews are gonna be like, "Oh, that Court guy. He never says anything."
He's gonna
end up being the laughing man in the Tom Green skits that just used to sit behind in the back and just laugh the whole time.
Oh, so we had we're gonna be talking about the PlayStation Showcase today. That's probably the big thing. We did stream our reactions earlier. So again, if you want to see us live react, youtube.com/3dadsandaconsole, and you can check that out. But before we get started into games, I want to kind of take a little bit of a walk down memory lane, if you will. And this is going to be me talking about my experience going to a concert for a band in which I am, I would say, part of the core demographic, even though I'm older. And that is Blink-182. Now, I've never experienced this yet. Going to a concert in which it was older people. And when I say older, I don't mean like, Nana. I mean like, people in their
my age.
There's a good mix, 30s, 40s specifically. Maybe early 50s, but a lot of people who just grew up with them. Now, I grew up with them, listening to them in 1999. When Enema of the State came out, and then I had their Mark, Tom, and Travis show on repeat. I actually had to do a project for, it's funny you mentioned Tom Green, for a video elective in 7th grade, bringing 2 songs. One was Adam's song, one of my favorite songs, and the cover basically has like cartoon boobas. And the other one was the Tom Green show.
The bum song?
The theme song.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna draw a picture of Tom Green. I just burned it to my memory because I cringe.
Man, I thought you were giving 7th grade WABA teacher the bum song.
No, I they weren't ready for it.
No one was ready for it.
I was already pushing my luck with a sad boy song with like cartoon boobas, but it was awesome. So, going there, I got there at 6:30, an hour beforehand because I'm a psychopath. And I brought earplugs because that's a Pez veteran move, to wear during the openers because it was some group, White Reaper and Turnstile. Turnstile is apparently very popular. They're not my thing.
What kind of music? Just like pop punk style?
It was kind of like rap rock at one point, but like I would say like punk, like I mean it's pop punk. That's all. I mean that's kind of the genre of it. And I love how people are like, oh man, like it's a rock. Like yeah. I'm like no, it's not. It's not in my opinion. But I ended up getting a T-shirt, which was great. I got my band T-shirt. They actually had one with their bunny logo dunking in a Celtics jersey, sold out. So I got one, went in the bathroom, threw it on, went back to my seat, and the woman behind me spilled beer on my back.
Hell yeah!
Didn't have it on for 5 minutes. So that was fun. But the show itself, very good. I listen to them all the time still. I paid way too much for a ticket as soon as it came out, using code WOBBLEPLAYS at SeatGeek for $20 off. Not a lie. So, losing money not going. Yeah, hashtag ad. And it was just very good. Like, they played, like, every song that I really like. They also played a lot, like, from their, Enema of the State, Take Off, whatever. I don't want to say, I just found out it was lewd recently. And they made stuff from, like, their newer stuff before they broke up. Songs that I don't know at all, which is weird. And I realized, like, a band that I've been listening to for God knows how long, since 1999, I still don't know all the lyrics to all their songs, even the ones I like. And it's because we didn't have, like, the internet to, like, look up stuff.
It's true.
You just hope it was in the booklet, or you just make it up, and that
Yeah.
becomes the lyrics in your mind. But really diverse group of, I would say, age ranges. You know, people my age, our age, brought their kids, and I don't mean like little kids. I mean like, you know,
10, 11,
probably like
12.
11, 12, 13, like kids who like the music. My daughter likes the music. She doesn't know what it means, which is good. I want to keep it that way. But it was just cool that like there were people like us bringing their kids, bringing their families to a band that like means a lot to them. And I never got to see them live, and I finally did. They played, you know, like they ended the show with "Damn It," which, you know, that's like 90s movie central.
Man, that is Can't Hardly Wait. That's the only movie I think of. When I hear that song, I'm like, Can't Hardly Wait with Seth Green and Jennifer Love Hewitt. And what a banger of a movie.
Certified Bop. They started off with Anthem Part 2, which is just so perfect. I don't know the exact like set list, but they have, or I mean, you can look it up. It doesn't change. But they played on. It's not Taylor Swift. Come on. But they played like Adam's song, which I love. I recorded like a lot of it because I had my phone here. I was looking out because I'm like, when am I gonna? Hopefully, I get to see him again.
Yeah.
They played "Stay Together" for the kids, and they're like, "Get ready to make the kids cry." And I'm like, man, why am I feeling feels about a situation I never found myself in?
Because it's the kids.
Well, because it was like, you know, I was like 15, 14, and I thought this stuff was deep. And, you know, they played like all the small things, which is a song I don't actually like.
Oh, I hate that song.
It's technically very good, but I think it's just not a good song.
I hate it.
And yeah, the experience was crazy. So I was up like in the top, and I mean, the seats were great from wherever. They had like a pit or, you know, a bunch of group of people. And Pez brought to my attention that former Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker was there dancing around.
Yep. He's a huge Blink-182 fan. Huge. And he was someone posted on TikTok, he was in like the pit area, and he was like bopping around and singing and like getting real into it, and started the mosh pit at one point. And dude, Charlie Baker rules.
So I saw it happening. I saw people mashing and doing like, you know, like the head bob kick.
Yep.
Like moshers do. I can't do
like
it because I'm not athletic. That's exactly it. And younger audiences don't know what that is, and that's fine. But
I am a ska boy after all.
I saw it happening. But when you go into like the thing, it says, "Please no moshing, you'll be removed immediately." And the first thing I could think of, because I saw security guards pointing, I'm like, they're gonna get ejected during the, you know, right when it starts. And they didn't. And now I know why. It's because it was the former governor of the state, and they're not going to remove him.
Yep, it was Charlie freaking Baker.
So that was interesting. Mosh and Charlie, they call him.
Yep, old Skankin' Charlie. Skankin' Bakes. That's what they call him.
His legacy now.
Good COVID protocols, even better skanker.
But it was great. Like the energy was fun. Between songs, they're still making like you know, like the jokes that they've always made. Maybe a little more tame because you can't like use certain words anymore.
Yeah.
But one of them's funny. They're like, man, Tom always messes the song up. He's like, listen, man, this song's only been out for 20 years. I haven't had that much time to practice. Which I thought was fun. And they played their new song, Edging, which was great. And everyone was just singing, man.
I wanted to ask,
it was crazy.
Did they play anything from the album California that Tom wasn't on?
Yes. So they play Bored to Death. And as soon as they go, I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Because it's like, that's cool.
That's cool.
It's interesting that I don't know the conversation. You know, I wasn't there, but like for them to play a song that people like from an album that he was not a part of, that came out because he left or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. And he did good. I like him. And you know, you told me he was auto-tuned. I didn't hear it. I mean, granted, everyone was singing and stuff, but they all sounded great. Yeah. The drums went up for a bit. Like they actually elevated Travis Barker.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a lot of fun. And it's cool because, like, you know, obviously they've done their own projects. They've done their own things. I'm going to make a joke. Hold on. I'm trying not to laugh. So they've done their own projects and things. Like, I know, you know, Hoppus has, you know, done his, like, streaming. So he has, like, the little squid blooper. He had a t-shirt with that. You know, Tom has, like, a Space to the Stars or whatever. Or he's, like, a Path to the Stars t-shirt. And then, you know, Travis Barker has done a Kardashian. So, you know, they've all gone and done their own projects. And no, but it was cool that they could like represent themselves individually with those types of things, and then come all back together for, you know, being the band that we all know and love. So I don't know, it was very cool. And then Yeah, I don't know. I've never been to a concert like that. I told my wife, I'm like, it's my favorite concert I've ever attended. And
Ooh.
I won't say obviously it's not like the, Taylor Swift that I went to last time where it was like the big production. I didn't say the most spectacular, but it's definitely my favorite. And again, a lot of bands like that are doing like Sum 41's going to be doing like a last tour. Who's opening
Mhm.
for them? Simple Plan. And God, like what? There's like one other band. I'm like, no, Offspring.
It's probably like MXPX.
No,
Offspring?
no,
Ooh,
Offspring.
okay. I might,
It's
I
kind of a
might,
pop.
I might go to that show.
Dude, tickets are like $30. Like it's an open air. It's in Mansfield. So like a lot of the bands that I like, and I still listen to 2000s music. That's what they're doing now. And to see like, and I've never seen them, even though I've listened to them. But to see Blink-182 do this, sell out of TD Garden, to their ticket prices were high to command that level of like interest. It's really cool to see a band I know and love do that, because I feel like a lot of famous acts I've seen, they're on the downswing,
Yeah.
and if they want to, they can continue this kind of trajectory too. And they need money too. Two of them might. Barker doesn't. He's got Kardashian money. And also too, there was a point before Adam's song, which again is one of my favorite songs. Very special song to me. It's again, I'm 12 and this is deep kind of stuff. Remember watching it on TRL. Oh God, I'm
It's
old.
when they came out with like "I Miss You" and your first girlfriend. You're like,
Oh yeah,
this song's about you.
it's
I miss
about you.
you.
But he goes, hey, for those of you who I know a lot of you know, Hoppus had cancer and it was pretty bad, and he got through it. He's it's in remission. He goes, this song's about kind of like getting behind things, and now I'm able to play here in Garden. It was kind of nice. And the last kind of big moment I'll talk about is, speaking of I Miss You. So they have on their merch, there's just, I can't believe people bought this, sweatshirts and t-shirts that just say "Where are you?"
Mm.
Which I think is like, get the bag. Why not? But as soon as his part comes up, he's like singing, but he's like, come on, and everyone's just like, "Where are you? I'm so sad." And it's like, it's so loud because it's a meme.
Yeah.
This slaps, and it shouldn't. They played like Man Overboard 2, which is like a bonus track for the Mark Tom and Travis. So it's like, I don't know. The set list had something for everybody, even people who were the age at which I listened to them. Like I don't like Neighborhoods. Like I never listened to that album. Whatever. And it's just interesting to see different like generations, quote unquote, different age ranges, identifying, with the songs that they listened to growing up around that
Yeah.
age range. Because I feel like that's where people are like, oh man, like cool. But pop punk's alive and well. It's interesting,
I love
it's
pop
growing up
punk.
with the youngins.
I love
That's all I
it.
listen
Sounds like
to.
a good show. I wish I could have
It was.
went, but tickets were too expensive.
You could have used Waba.
Waba told me the price, and I went pass.
Yeah, there was nothing. I would have paid more, but luckily
Hey.
I didn't have to.
That's why you make adult money, to do adult things like that.
That's why I sling garbage.
That's why he slings garbage.
For those, I'm not. It's not. That's not. It's I flip on eBay.
Well,
I just
Waba. Speaking of slinging
Speaking of
garbage, there was. Speaking of slinging garbage, Sony had their 2023 showcase today. My man left. If you are an audio listener right now, he just got up and walked away. I'm by myself. I'm a man out on an island right now. Oh, Waba, where are you?
Where are you? I'm so sorry.
And I'm so
His
sorry.
accent baffles me. Just look up on YouTube, and like etymologists have no idea like why he exists like that. But yeah, that was a great segue. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Sony had their 2023 showcase today. It's the first time in about 600 days that they had we're not talking a state of play. We are talking E3 type showcase where they are supposedly going to show you bangers, right? Everything that Sony has been working on. And ultimately, I found it disappointing. And I know Waba did too, but we're gonna give it a compliment sandwich. But inverse.
I mean, it's gonna be a thick inside.
So let's talk about first the things we liked. Actually, before we do that, there was they showed a ton of titles. Okay, quantity was not a problem in this showcase. For those over on YouTube, I wrote down names. I wrote down the names and release day if they gave it to us of these games, with stuff like reactions and all that stuff. It is a page and a half of notebook paper. So mix of PlayStation Studio type products, third party products, so and peripheral accessories, products like that. So I guess, Baba, let's start with the things you liked about the conference or the showcase, the showcase, as some of the French would say. And what was it?
Good callback.
Thank you.
But I would say the one that sticks out most is Foam Masters.
No, it's called Foam Stars.
Foam.
What a remembrance.
Okay, well, you know what? The gameplay did, or so you see Foam Stars. So you see Square Enix and Neon, it's cool, and then you get like this like KDA looking character coming out. If you're a weeb degenerate, I was like, all right, this looks cool, and then all of a sudden they just start throwing like champagne bottles and foam and stuff, and then you realize it's Splatoon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we need that, but I will say it just looks silly. And it looks fun, and I'm worried about the price. Because I feel like that's a game you're probably going to enjoy for a little bit, and I hope that's like a $30 to $40 title. Again,
It'll be
a
$60 title.
But I see Splatoon, and I see, people like it, but it's not. It's a very shallow game mode. So I hope that this is not a, I hope that there's a little more substance to it than just, verses or whatever. So we'll see. But it looked fun. It looked cool, and it looked. I liked the colors, so that was cool. I liked the Immortals of Avium trailer. I've done, not biased, I've done, work with them. Not with them, but I've done trailer breakdowns for Immortals of Avium, and it looks very interesting. It reminds me a lot of BioShock mixed with like Dishonored. So it's definitely something to look at. I don't think a lot of people are aware of it because I haven't seen a lot of marketing up until now. So the fact that it's coming out in 2 months is very good. That game Neva,
Mm-hmm.
Never Gonna Break My Heart.
Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it.
Oh God. Emotionally charged trailer.
Yes.
Did not like that part of it because it made me sad boy, but that was the point. And Spider-Man looked good, but I knew it would look good, and we'll talk more about it later. But that's what
that was it for you.
There's not one game there. I will say this. I'll be playing Immortals of Avium. Spider-Man I'll be playing at some point. There's not one game there that I was like, man, I need to pre-order this.
No. There are very few games that I feel like I need to pre-order. One of them was Tears of the Kingdom. Obviously, I'm a big Zelda nerd. Can't tell by the Shield of Hyrule hanging behind me. All right, so I had a few games that I was really excited for. The first is a sequel to Helldivers. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I remember, so for the uninitiated, Helldivers came out on the PS3, the Vita, and it's on Steam, and it still has a pretty loyal fan base on Steam. So they're doing a new Helldivers, which I was super excited about. Release date 2023. Didn't get a release date. Phantom Blade Zero looked awesome. That was the samurai / like Western almost I can't really describe it, but again, coming to PS5. Cat Quest, which was the little kitty pirates, 2024. Alan Wake 2 looked cool. I don't know if I'll buy it right away. It's probably going to be like wait to come on sale, but it looked spooky. October 17th, 23. And then Ultros. So Ultros is probably on my top 3. Sorry, I burped. Ultros is on what? I muted myself.
Why did you tell them?
So they know why I paused.
You could have just had a pregnant pause and let it be.
I'm not a pregnant man. I only look like it. That's why I go to the gym. Ultros looked awesome. It looked like Dead Cells on mushrooms. It looks like a roguelite game, which as anyone out there knows, I'm totally about. So I'm very excited to play that. Dragon's Dogma 2. If you play the first one, it's out it's out on Switch and it runs actually really well. Really excited about that. And then Marathon from Bungie. So I was reading more about Marathon, and it's a 3-person team extraction shooter, which is kind of what you brought up. It's kind of what you brought up in the trailer. You said I think it was a BR game, so it was pretty close.
Can I talk? Well, no, I'll talk about it after.
It looks good. Here's my issue with Bungie: is I hate their business practices, and let me tell you why. So following that, they dropped a new Destiny expansion with a Destiny showcase for August 22nd. Here's my biggest problem with Bungie and Destiny is you pay $20 for Destiny expansion X, right? The Ride to the Sun or whatever they're calling, whatever. A year later, right? You've paid your $20, your $30, 40, 50 for major expansions. And then Bungie vaults it. And then you can't play it anymore. How these people have not been sued in a class action lawsuit, I do not know. But they did it enough that I just stopped playing Destiny 2. Because really, much like Overwatch 2, Destiny 2 didn't have to come out. There was no point. They brought everything back from Destiny 1. But I don't trust Bungie. If it's free to play, I'll give Marathon a shot. But if you have to pay for it, there's no way. There's no way I'm paying for it because I don't trust Bungie to put stuff out either to paywall it, which they will do because it's Bungie and that's what they do best, or they will, you'll buy whatever, the Marathon expansion, and then 2 years late or a year later, they say, oh, well, to keep the game running well, you can't use this expansion anymore. Who knows? So love the idea of it, but I don't trust Bungie's business practices to actually stick to their word. And then lastly with Spider-Man 2, I thought Spider-Man 2 looks great. It's going to be great. I loved the voice acting in the trailer. The voice acting was top notch. I'm a little sick of the black suit. I'm a little sick of the black suit story, even though the black suit is my favorite of all time.
That's what is it? Secret Wars?
The symbiote suit. Secret Wars. They did the symbiote wars. It's part of everything, but it's like integral to the story of Spider-Man. But like emo Spider-Man, I get bad vibes because of Spider-Man 3.
Oh, I feel like surprisingly I haven't played one yet. I do have it. I'm waiting on it.
Waiting on
but
what?
his voice acting is it's not emo, it's angry, and I love that. I think I'm a big Yuri Lowenthal fan from Persona 4, and I can hear just Yosuke in his voice. I remember when the trailer came out, I was like, "Oh man, looking good, partner," and he like commented on which I was like, "Dude, that's awesome." He's so good, and the Miles voice actors. I am actually I shouldn't be surprised because their prior games have great voice acting, but they just pick the right people and they know what to do.
You should get on both Spider-Man and Miles Morales.
Spider-Man's? Yes.
Yeah, because they're both very good. Miles Morales is more of like, let's talk Halloween candy. If Spider-Man is a king-size candy bar, Miles Morales is like a fun-size candy bar. It's still delicious, but it is just a smaller sample of the deliciousness. So there's your Pizzelle 56X food take for the day. Thank you.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Thank you. But yeah, other than that, I thought I didn't enjoy a lot of this showcase. Okay, and let me tell you why. When there is a showcase, whether it be Xbox, Nintendo, or PlayStation, what do we want to see the most? First party games, right? When Nintendo has a when Nintendo has a Nintendo Direct and they don't show Zelda or they don't show Mario, everyone goes, hey, where's Zelda and Mario? It's like Poochie. When Poochie's not on screen, the other characters are like, hey, where's Poochie? Right? When Xbox has one, it's like, hey, where's Halo? Where is Starfield? Actually, what are you guys doing at all? And with PlayStation, that was pretty much the same thing. Because they did not have a good lineup of first party games. I don't even know. I didn't go through it. I didn't have time because once this was over, I went to the gym and took my daughter to soccer practice and all that stuff. But
weird.
Immediately, Xbox tweets out like 9 games. 12 games that was shown on this showcase that will be coming to Xbox, including Metal Gear Solid.
I can read it out real quick. Immortals of Avium, Ghost Runner 2, Marathon, Metal Gear Solid Delta, dumb name, Snake Eater, Dragon Dogma 2, Alan Wake 2, Plucky Squire, Teardown, Assassin's Creed, Talos Principle 2, Cat Quest, and Neva.
So a lot of the exclusivity isn't there. And I knew, if you go back and watch our reaction, I knew with all the indie games, because they would say wish list it, that is like a Steam thing. Pop it on your wish list. So I'm like, this is coming to PC, right? Because Plucky Squire looks great too. I mean, for some reason I missed it. But like Plucky Squire looks great. Like their indie games look really good. They didn't have the first party games, and that's what I want. As a PlayStation gamer, that's what I want. Throw me a sizzler, a teaser of Ghost of Tsushima, because we know it's coming, right? Throw me a sizzler of The Last of Us Factions, right? Because we know it's coming. Like it doesn't need to be meaty, and a lot of this stuff also didn't have a lot of gameplay. It was a lot of CGI. This is not gameplay footage type stuff, and it's frustrating to sit there for an hour. And maybe that's our problem as gamers, because we're always hyping ourselves up, like, oh, maybe they'll do this, maybe they'll do this. Like we joked around, maybe they'll do Resistance, maybe they'll do Killzone. Maybe they'll do PlayStation Battle All-Stars.
Nobody was right.
But no one would have guessed, oh, maybe they're doing a bunch of games that is coming out to different platforms. Like Xbox put that tweet out. Nintendo immediately put out a thing that said, oh, Neva or whatever is coming to the Switch in 2023 or 2024. Like other companies were then like, oh yeah, this game's also coming out here. So if I'm a Nintendo person, I have a Switch, and I'm an indie nerd, which I am, and a Nintendo nerd, which I am. I'm like, oh, I'll just play this on the Switch. This game probably runs great on the Switch, right? So it's like a lot of people saying, oh, it was a good one. It was a B. It was an A. Some people on tweets were saying it was an S tier, and I'm like, this is not an S tier showcase. Like, are we just ponies? Are we just pony boys right now? That was not an S tier showcase. There was no Persona, right? Because the root.
Yeah, I love it. That's like the hill to die on. I love it. Yep.
Well, no, because you think about it, right? Persona 3 remake is going to be huge, and it's probably going to be PlayStation exclusive for a year, 2 years, right? No Persona. There was no first party stuff outside of a few games. And there was very little gameplay. Even what we saw in Spider-Man was like, Spider-Man always like drifts between cinematics and gameplay, but there wasn't a lot of gameplay in that
scene, dude.
There was the zipping across the water and some of the some of the quick time events and stuff like that, and there was very good voice acting, and it was cool to see Lizard, and it was cool to see Kraven and the black suit and seeing what the black suit can do. But it also felt very anticlimactic, because they said, oh, and they do the whole, oh, and one more announcement. And you want your one more announcement to be grandiose, right? You want it to be, oh, and before we leave, here's this one thing. Tears of the Kingdom. That's what they did with Tears of the Kingdom. It was like Link pushing the door open. Everyone was like, oh my God, right? Or it could have been, you could have been looking over a rainy, burning Japan and not know it. And in the shadow, you just see Jin standing there with his typical stuff. And then all he does is flick his sword up, and then it goes black. And it just says like the ghost is coming or something like that. And that's enough. I don't think we needed 10, 15 minutes of Spider-Man 2. But it is what it is. Ultimately, I didn't think it was a good showcase. If and I was trying to explain it to someone on Twitter that words matter. And if they call this a state of play, it's fine. But this is a showcase. This is what you're putting out to the world. This is what you're saying. This is all of what PlayStation is working on or has been working on. This is what's coming in 2023. This is our E3. Look at us. This is why you should get a PS5. And if I didn't have one, I don't know if I come away from that showcase being like, oh, I need a PlayStation 5. But maybe I do to play Spider-Man because I love Spider-Man. And I have it on 2 different consoles. I have it on my PC and my PlayStation. And I had it on my PlayStation 4, so 3. But like, I don't know. Was not impressed. Just wasn't impressed. And even if they gave me stuff I didn't care about, like the Last of Us factions, I'd be happy because it shows that the first party studios are doing stuff. It just feels like they're not doing stuff. We know they are. We know Factions is coming out. We know Ghost of Tsushima 2 will come out. But what they put on the plate for a showcase ain't it. Let's if this was Nintendo and they ended with 10 minutes of Kirby, everyone would have been like, what the hell is this? Or like a Donkey Kong game, people would have been like, no, what is this? Don't end with this. End with Mario, right? End with like something we don't know. If they ended with Wolverine, that like end with something that we don't know about. Give us that. But they didn't. They gave us stuff we already knew about, even though it looks great and it'll be in the running for Game of the Year with Jedi and Zelda and hopefully Dead Island 2, but it probably won't. Any of that stuff. Secondly, how dare they come out and tell us that to even include PSVR in this list.
Dude,
we got, hold on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 PSVR titles in that whole thing. And again,
one of which was the best one was Beat Saber, which has been out on Oculus and everything else for like over a year.
Again, written down. I wrote everything down. I had it up on 2 different monitors because I was sharing it in Discord with Waba and I had it on my big monitor in case I had to look away. 5 PSVR titles. A joke. Like, we need more than that. Don't tell me you're going to support this system and then don't. It doesn't. VR, I don't like VR anyway because it makes me sick. But like for the people that bought it, because like you're telling me Resident Evil 4 VR, that's cool, but that's only going to be like an update to the game. So like, great.
Someone said it might be like a horde mode, like because how you can't play the whole game like that.
Oh, you could. Like it basically was like if you play.
Well, we don't know because the trailers were bad. So who the hell knows?
It's like if you played it on the Wii, but the Wii was like a lot of on-rail shooting. So who knows? Mm-hmm. Again, who knows?
No one knows.
And then thirdly, I was very underwhelmed with the peripherals. So the Project Q, which I labeled the PS Switch because that's basically what it is. And then the PlayStation earbuds. First, the earbuds, silly. Sony, allow your system to just hook up with other Bluetooth devices. That's it. But they don't because they want to sell you proprietary stuff. I care less about that than I do this Project Q PS Switch deck that I keep calling it. I did not burp that time. The PS Switch deck. My biggest issue with this is it is a Wi-Fi only dedicated remote play device. Okay. I was saying on the watch along that unless you live in this like this 5,000 acre like square foot mansion, You don't really need that. 2 reasons. One, I mean, 90% of the time your PlayStation's hooked up to a TV you have access to. Maybe you don't. Maybe you have kids. Maybe they're watching Bluey like they should.
Good.
That's what good parents do, allow their
Mhm.
children to watch Bluey.
True.
But in the words of Activision Blizzard and the folks of Diablo Immortal, don't you have phones? So here's the thing. You can, for the price of who knows how much this is going to cost, my guess is looking at it, it's probably going to be $200. Because it is, essentially a tablet and then these like PS5 almost Joy-Con looking type controllers. I bet it feels real nice because the PS5 controller is real nice. But unlike your phone, you can't take it out of the house because the moment you're not hooked up to your home network, you're not going to remote play anything. And I highly doubt if you live or you work an hour away that you're going to be able to tap into whatever to then get into your home Wi-Fi to then remote play your PlayStation.
It looks
just
flimsy too from the pictures. Like it's not like a Joy-Con that's strapped to it. There's space, so that stuff's gonna break.
it seems like an earmuffs children, a half-assed attempt on earmuffs children. A half-assed attempt. They said, "Oh, the Switch is picking up gas. Oh, there's a new Steam Deck. Wow, look at this thing. It's selling it, but it's bananas. Oh, Asus came out with the whatever it's called, the ROG or whatever, which
ROG, yeah.
basically is another Steam Deck. Oh, we should do something for PlayStation. But we're not going to commit. We're not going to make another Vita. We're not going to make another PSP. But instead, how about this? How about we give you a nice little screen? We'll basically chop our controller in half so you have them one on each side. And you can sit on your couch and your wife can watch her true crime documentaries and you can play PlayStation. That sounds dope. But I can already do that on my phone. You can go buy the $199 adapter that just came out from Razer or one of those companies. Hook it up to your phone and there you go. You're done. It's half the cost and you're doing the same thing. And you might be able, I don't know because I don't really remote play. But you might be able to also just run it on your on like your data if you have a connection with the PS5. That I'm not sure about, but it just feels like there were a lot of misses. I'm talking a lot, but that's because it's bothering me. It feels like there were a lot of misses, and I'm not going to ever excuse a company for showing us a lot of third-party stuff and then being like, oh yeah, that was a great showcase. Because guess what? I can get it on other platforms. I want my showcase to have exclusive games. If it's third-party exclusive, great. If they came out was like Monster Hunter World 2, right? Blah, blah, blah on Capcom, and it's only on PlayStation. How many only on PlayStations did we get?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want that answer? 0. They didn't say that at all. They didn't say it at all. And that was a thing like 2 years ago. Ghostwire Tokyo only on PlayStation. Blah, 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 only on PlayStation. Blah, 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 only on PlayStation. And
Xbox loves doing that too.
And Xbox is like, here's Redfall day one Game Pass. And we're all like, yeah, it's on Game Pass day one, baby. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad because we don't know at the time. Right? But
they did Hi-Fi Rush too. Oh yeah, it's out now. Free game. What does PlayStation get?
And it just feels like they dropped the ball. They were in prime position after Redfall stumbled, right? And Zelda took off. And maybe they were like, hey, we're not going to show you. Why would we show you factions right now? All you bozos are playing Zelda. It doesn't matter. You're all building mecha robots and death machines in Zelda. Who cares? You're not going to worry about this anyway. You're going to hem and haw. Go back to your Zeldas. We'll see you in October or November to play Spider-Man. Smell you later. And it just, maybe they don't care, but, as someone who enjoys playing his PlayStation, I was like, all right, I'll get Helldivers. Actually, I'll probably get it on Steam because it'll probably run better. Because it's coming to PC. And that's the other thing. These games that are coming to PC, if someone has the option, I would guess most of the time they're gonna play it on PC, but that's just me being a PC nerd.
Well, no, that's what I don't understand about showcases like this that show things that are on other platforms. Hey, great job. You just marketed 12 games for Xbox and PC. Good on you. Thanks for doing them a favor. How kind of you.
Yeah.
What do you get for being on, having a Sony platform? I don't know. You get one game. Oh, you get a few more if you have PSVR and decided to pay $500 for something. Yeah. You get rewarded with 5 games that you also have to pay for, by the way. Like, why are showcases showcasing stuff that you can play somewhere else? Because now I have all 3 consoles. What do I care? I bet half of these games are going to show up on Games Pass. Why would I buy it on Sony?
True.
Now that I know it's coming, I can just wait if I'm not sold.
True.
So I agree with you on that.
It was underwhelming. It was underwhelming. Yeah. And I was in Carpool Gaming was doing their little wrap up after our show. And I went in there and they were asking chat like people's grades, and I said I gave it a C because a C is fine. A C is average.
High.
I think I said C minus to C because it's just average, right? In my eyes, it was average. There was nothing great about it.
Below average.
And
I'm less excited than I was going into it.
Interesting. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a
because it was bad. And I don't mean in terms of the games, because again, I recognize there are a lot of hardworking people working on these games and they're not all for me. I'm talking about independent of the games that were actually shown. Okay, I don't care about a lot of like certain games. Dragon Dogma, people are freaking out over it. It's not my game. But that's not why. It's not because there wasn't a game that spoke to me. It's because it was a bad showcase in terms of the word showcase. I already mentioned how they're advertising other platforms stuff. The trailers were bad. All right? Let me say that again. Not the games, not the people working on it, not the companies working on it. The actual trailers that shown were bad. Metal Gear Solid Delta. Again, I'm not an MGS fan. It should be a home run. What do they show? A bunch of animals eating each other. I recognize it's probably an allegory for the different character names, okay? Don't get me wrong. But it's not actual footage. And it's like, and you can play it on Xbox. So it doesn't matter, like, why, like, this, it's a confusing trailer. Up until then. And again, maybe that's a bad example because that game is weird. Let me show you another one. Assassin's Creed Mirage. It does not look different gameplay-wise to any other similar Assassin's Creed game. Now, let me tell you the Assassin's Creeds I love. We talked about it earlier. You loved Black Flag. I loved Assassin's Creed 3. Super different. Revolutionary War. I also love the Odyssey. Great. But like this looks very similar to Assassin's Creed 1 in terms of the setting. And it looked like some of the kill animations were very similar. And we didn't see anything else. So why should I care about this? Because Assassin's Creed's, the gameplay has a floor and it has a ceiling. Okay, it's not going to differ much. But what matters is the story. Sell me on that. Why should I play your game? It looks exactly the same as all your, the other titles. I don't know. Who knows? It's coming to Xbox too. Wait for it on Games Pass. Conquer. Oh, dude, hold on. Conquer, the literal worst trailer I've ever seen. I was mad. I think that's when I started. I think that's when I started like being like super cynical.
Waba, it was at this point, Waba pretty much shut down the rest of the showcase. He was just like, nope, I was done. I'm done. What time is it? Are we almost done? I'm done.
This thing, they're like, okay, I'm in space. I'm like, is it guard? Who knows? It's like, oh, a locker room inside this retro ship, and then that's it. And then they come out with the name. What am I supposed to do with that information? Why do I care? I don't actually. It tells me nothing. It doesn't tell me, what is it? Space? Okay, is it? What's the gameplay like? Is it what? Like, nobody knows. And I had a bunch of other games like that. Like, what is this game about? Marathon. Oh, okay, I'm a robot. I'm getting made. Okay, I get shot. I'm like, is this a battle royale? Is it first-person shooter? Is it co-op? Like, nobody knows. And they're like, oh, go to marathon.com for more. I'm not going to. Okay? I'm not doing the work for you. You tell me why your game is good. It's not just like, if you're a not popular game, I'll give Assassin's Creed some like leeway because like people know what it is. But like, you have to tell people why your game is fun. You want to see some good trailers? Cat Quest, Neva, Plucky Square. Great. You get everything you need to know in those trailers. You get to see gameplay. You get to see a little bit of what it's about. There's one where you're like trying to rebuild your world. It's like a city builder. Like, I'm like, it's not my kind of game, but I'm like, okay, I get what this is about. Then you have like these other weird ones. Like, do you all want to be Hideo Kojima and just be weird and nobody knows what you're doing? Because you can't. Nobody's gonna put up with that outside of him because he's good at it and he's done it for a while. And even still, his trailer made no Delta. Come on, Delta. Know what Delta means? Change. I would have changed the whole format of that showcase.
That's not even his. Not even his
It's
game.
not even
anymore.
his. Oh, that's right. It's Konami.
It's Konami. Well, and
Oh.
like, here's the thing. At some point, we hit the, and I think this was a little too long. Truly. So we went into, after Dragon's Dogma, this is what we went into. So we're talking maybe 45, 35 minutes into it. We had Dragon's Dogma 2, and I'm like, yes, give me that. Then we go Five Nights at Freddy's.
I forgot about that. Oh.
Then we hit the PSVR 2 showcase, in air quotes. Resi 4, Arizona Sunshine 2, Crossfire Sierra Squad, Synapse, Beat Saber. Then we go into Marathon from Bungie. Then we go into Destiny expansion that you won't be able to play in a year. Then we go to Conquered. Thing. The Gran Turismo movie.
Oh my god.
This is a PlayStation showcase. And you're going to show me a trailer for a movie of a video game. Ladies and gentlemen, they wasted our time with the Gran Turismo movie trailer. It wasn't the whole trailer because I saw the whole trailer at Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and I turned to my wife.
Oh god, I actually might not go see that movie in theater.
And I turned to my wife and I was like, what the hell was that? And she goes, what's a Gran Turismo? I go, it's a PlayStation game. She goes, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. But then they show us the Gran Turismo movie trailer. I'd rather it be the Gran Torino movie trailer, which is a great movie, by the way. Then the PS2 Switch, then the PS Switch Deck, then the PS Earbuds, and then ended with Spider-Man. So that like last 25, 30 minutes. Maybe it was shorter than that. 25, 20, 25 minutes.
Dude, it felt like 5 hours.
That last part felt so long. I felt like I was stuck in, I felt like I was like Sergeant Ripley in Aliens and I was like just frozen there and I couldn't leave. I was like the kid in Clockwork Orange and the torture was that last 25 minutes.
Oh my god. And the worst part is the last 25 minutes was a game that we are looking forward to where it looks beautiful and like a game we like.
Yeah.
But because everything before it just sucked the life out of us, we're like, man, like what are you doing?
I just didn't have it. And we're coming off really negative, but that's because we expect a lot from Sony, right? If Xbox put out based on how Xbox has been the past year, they put out a bad showcase, I'd be like, that's Xbox. Like they're like the dopey redheaded cousin right now who just is like drooling at the Thanksgiving table. And your aunt's like, no, you have to talk to him. He's your cousin. And we're like, oh, I guess we'll deal with it. But this guy, there's an issue with this guy. And then Nintendo's like the uncle that comes around and gives you like the great Christmas gifts, but then goes away and you don't see him for another year. Like that's Nintendo. Sony is like the other uncle that's always at everything that like you really care about and you just want good thing. Like you want to hear about his good stories and he tells great stories and he tells great jokes and he buys great gifts and you're just like, this is my favorite uncle. I love him. I like Uncle Nintendo, but he comes and goes. And I don't like redheaded step cousin Xbox because I don't expect much from them. So we expect a lot from Sony and then they don't deliver. And that's the frustrating part of it is they just didn't deliver. Or I felt like they didn't deliver. And thankfully, I feel like, Court likes to bag on me about being the Nintendo nerd, but I feel like I can objectively look at stuff like this because I play on all three consoles and I play on PC. And it just wasn't good because all I want is first party games. I don't have these machines to I can pick and choose if I want to play Neva. I can pick and choose what I want to play it on. Right? But I can't pick and choose, Spider-Man 2 or Helldivers I can. There was one exclusive, it seems.
And you know what they let off with? Some bank heist game that we don't even have gameplay from.
Oh,
Or
Fair
maybe we
Place.
did, and I don't. It's. I almost forgot about it.
We
Like,
thought it
aren't
was
you supposed to
Payday.
start off with a banger? Everyone thought it was Payday, and then they're like, oh, it's something with a cash symbol in the name. It's like, what? Like, I don't. What are you? And then like they end with Spider-Man, which was great. So they showed Craven, good a cutscene. You know what I would have done? Ended it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, what? And then we're like, oh, go to New York, and we were both like, oh, this is still going. And then it shows a little bit of gameplay. Then it shows like I want to experience this crap for myself when I buy your game. Stop showing me 15 minutes of the game.
And that's
I would
another
have
problem with that.
loved to experience that, but I feel like they have nothing else to show us. So that means either they're waiting until the time is right, which this would have been a great time, or they have nothing else to show and everything's behind. And that's fine if they are, but that's what you get for
Yeah,
setting expectations, and we've seen them do it in the past. So
Yep.
I will respect them for not showing something that's not going to come out for 5 years.
Right.
However, I'm very surprised that with all the studios that they've had and that they've acquired and all these plans they're making, that the biggest bangers are like, oh, well, we're going to show you some Steam Deck you didn't ask for and some headphones that are going to be too expensive and aren't going to work with your phone or whatever. Oh, yeah, and here's more Spider-Man, the game you already know about because we had a comic come out on Free Comic Book Day and we've already been publishing the heck out of it. Like, man, we it's like, dude, we know the game's going to be good. I don't need to see more of it. Stop spoiling it for me.
But also, like
come
don't
on,
show
man.
me a mission in Spider-Man. We had people leave our chat that are like, "Ooh, this looks like a spoiler. Hey, thanks for the reaction. I'm gonna go." I'm dead serious. They like
yeah,
movie.
right?
They like movie trailered that. Where if you look at the movie trailer and then you watch the movie and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I just could have watched the trailer." They showed me everything. They showed me everything. It doesn't matter.
Uncharted 3 did that too. I remember. Oh God, it's like, don't show your stuff.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to them showing playing Queen at Beat Saber and getting everybody's monetized channels DMCA strike so they can't get money off it. Nice job.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Love it.
Good on them. By the way, I can say Court said this morning he played the Queen Pack, the Beat Saber Queen Pack. He says it's great. Beat Saber is a great game.
It is, but you can get it on Oculus. And the thing with the VR 2, the VR 2 is good. I recognize the games for it are good. However, VR, and I've played VR 1, I haven't played VR 2, so kick rocks if you take that with a grain of salt. VR games do not look good when you're watching somebody else play it. They don't. And they're not going to. Horizon did an effective demo of that because the game looks beautiful. However, most VR games do not. And they rely less on graphics and more on experience. So when you show a shooter with somebody with no arms and Mickey Mouse gloves running around and the aiming looks weird because it's so tough to make a good VR trailer. And I will say, most of them didn't.
Nope. I think there was.
I was not sold.
Good.
Resident Evil 4. Yes, it's cool. It doesn't look as good as the remaster that just came out. Why would you play it in VR when you can just play the remastered game all the way through if you're a Resident Evil 4 fan?
That game Synapse, the one where it was like kind of black and white and you were pushing like these purple blocks.
Oh, the
like,
boxes into everybody?
Yeah, that one looked pretty cool.
I'm not saying the games don't look cool. I'm not saying they don't play well. I'm saying it's very challenging to show someone how good it can look. So that's why I think when you do VR trailers, you have to be very careful. And my whole theme for this showcase is you did not show good trailers for the most part. Okay, I'm not saying every trailer. I highlighted some earlier, but like the trailers weren't good. They didn't tell me why I should play your game, what makes it different, or what even your game is. And I'm not going to do extra work because that's your job.
Right. We're not.
I can find enough stuff to play.
Right. We have stuff to play.
Yeah.
Is it Tears of the Kingdom? Yes. Well, for me, it is.
Let me put it this way. So I'm playing, the new Star Wars Jedi. I knew exactly what that was going in. The trailer, because I've, played it before, Assassin's Creed, so I know what the gameplay is going to be like for the most part. So what do I need? They need to sell me on story. How do things look different? Why is the world different? They gave you a little bit teaser of story, what you're getting into. So then when you start it, and they don't give everything away, look at a similar game, Assassin's Creed, I know how it's going to play. So stop showing me doing things that I can do in the other ones. Stop showing me animations that are pretty much the same. Why should I play it? What makes it different? Why is the story interesting?
Right.
Especially for older gamers, like if we want to play something like easy, we can go play Minecraft. But like a lot of people want to play something with a story, like an interactive movie. And if you're not going to tell someone what that movie is, why are they going to play it? They don't have time.
They don't.
Especially after Valhalla for, or
90 hours
80-hour games. Like I don't know if that series is for me anymore, and that's disappointing. But like with all the other ones, like especially the smaller, like I don't want to say smaller because Bungie's a big studio, but like, okay, cool. Sony acquired you. What are you doing? Oh, I'm doing this game that apparently is a remake of a game from a while ago. Okay, I never played it. What's it about? Cool.
Kick rocks.
Neat. Thanks. It's too bad. Maybe I'll like it, but I'll never know about it. I can play it on Xbox when it's on Games Pass.
So let's answer the question. Sony Showcase 2023, pass or fail?
Fail. Oh my gosh. I hate saying that. I will say thank God for and again, Spider-Man's gonna be sick, but I already knew it was coming out. I was already excited for it. Do not waste time during your showcase for things that people are already excited about. Use it to sell them on new things because you don't need to sell anyone on Spider-Man. If they're gonna play it, they're gonna play it. Then being like, oh man, I just saw a full mission. Now I'm gonna buy it. I was on the fence. So, fail.
Same. I agree. If I have to go pass fail, it was a fail for me. I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah. Go take summer school.
Yeah.
You know what they're going to do? Speaking of summer school, they're going to go to Jeff Keighley's award event and they're going to do better there, which is crazy.
Of course they are.
Why spend all that time doing it?
You know what? They will do this showcase and then during Summer Games Fest, we'll drop like a Factions trailer and we'll forget all about this.
Exactly. But for right now, we can be salty dogs.
Yeah. Salty, hold on. Salty Cat Quest Kitty Pirates.
That game looks fun.
That game looks so good.
Isn't it crazy that they had such good trailers and mixed with such not good trailers?
The indie, I'm going to give Sony this. The indie games that they picked, there were a lot of good ones, man. There were a lot of good indie games, and I was really excited for some of them. And knowing that they'll come out on PC, and we'll probably get keys and stuff for them to cover because indie studios love us. I'm really excited about those. But man, give us those first parties, baby. Come on. Sony, you let me down.
Yeah,
you are.
It's too bad.
I'm not mad, Sony. I'm just disappointed. That's
Classic
it.
dad line.
I'm just disappointed.
So if you were excited about this, I know you've just listened to us kind of like, be a little negative on it. Do not let that like ruin your hype level. Because again, everyone's in a different situation in terms of what they like and how much time they have and what they prefer and their gaming style. If you're excited for this Sony handheld, I know we're a lot of this is we are also being hyperbolic. So please do not let us sway you against. But from folks who have been playing a lot of games, part of a lot of showcases, this is just kind of how we feel, especially right after when it's fresh.
And here's the thing: tell us how you feel about this showcase. We want to hear from you. So if you liked it. If you liked it, tell us. Tell us the games you're excited about because we want to hear them. We had to cover a whole hour showcase in the hour that we have, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about the games you're excited for. If you're excited for the PS Switch deck, tell us. I want to know. I want to know what tickled your fancy for that 60 minutes plus that Sony threw all this stuff out. You're an indie geek like me. Tell me the game. Tell me about Cat Quest because I am about it.
Also, shout out to Sony for being late to their own conference. They're like, I think 2 minutes late.
Stay tuned.
So someone forgot to hit the button.
Always leave them wanting more, baby.
So that's gonna be it for today for our Blink-182 reviews / PlayStation Showcase impressions. If you had fun, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to us on youtube.com/3guysandaconsole. We have a lot of things coming up. We actually just released a few videos, right?
Yes, so we have a review of Hockey Roguelite Tape to Tape that just came out on Monday. We have Court did a review of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I always call it Fallen Survivor, and I know that's wrong. So
Fallen Order was the first one.
Yeah. So Jedi Survivor, which he says is probably one of the best Star Wars written Star Wars games in a long time. So go check that out. And I got reviews in the hopper that I just have to finish writing. Starship Troopers Extermination, Darkest Dungeon 2. Zelda's not gonna come out. Zelda is my Winds of Winter. It's coming out when I die. And then a few more. So we got a lot of good stuff.
My next one that I want to do is A Space for the Unbound by Course. Cool. I've heard it's very good, and I would love to be able to say that one of my tops. Hopefully, if all goes
Is that
If it
our
plays
friends
like I
over
feel.
there at our friends over there at Toji?
At Course Worldwide. So looking forward to
Beautiful.
it. All right, that's all we got for you. Thank you very much for joining, and I don't know, last final words for the folks.
Yeah, I guess we didn't like the showcase because, as they say, I guess this is growing up.
Well, I guess this is growing. You know what they should have said to us? We were like, Sony, where are you? And they're like, I'm so sorry. And we're like, I cannot breathe. I cannot sleep tonight.
I need Tsushima in always. Okay, goodbye everyone. Have a great week. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with us.
Indecision to show trailers.